Hi, this is Tawny with the Kinsman Free Public Library, and I thought I would share some of the cool non-Goodreads book trackers that I've been playing with as I've discovered them just browsing around on my own computer or phone. The first one I'm going to share today is the Storygraph Beta, and it's a beta because the website itself is pretty much new. I think it's less than a year old because it started out as a mailing list. And this mailing list would give you a quiz where you could talk about all the books you like, don't like, what you look for in a book, what you don't look for in a book, what you'll never touch, questions kind of like that. And it would give you a personalized reading recommendation in your email. They recently started it as a website though. So there is more of a community function. You can rate books, you can engage in reading challenges, and kind of interact with people this way. So the sign up process is very easy. You're just going to click on the sign up. You'll enter in your email, a username, password. You'll re-enter in the password. So you're just going to sign up like you would for anything else. And then once you sign up, it will open up the quiz so that you can take the quiz and give them a little bit of information about yourself. So I'm going to sign into my account so that we can kind of look and play around. So this is my account. So you're going to see that I'm currently reading The Only Good Indians. It thinks that I would enjoy Attack on Titan, Uzumaki, and The Diabolic. And that would be because I told him I like graphic novels, horror, dystopian YA, thrillers, fiction. I like things with vampires and monsters and stuff like that. And then also you're going to see my to read pile, or my to be read pile. So you're going to see that I have a bunch of these different books that I would like to read, as well as books they have currently added to the website. As it is a beta, so not everything is going to be on there. It won't be quite as extensive as Goodreads would be. And then you're going to also see that I have added a couple books that I myself own. This Hex is actually currently September's Bright Night Book Club, so I highly recommend picking this one up. We have a few copies. It's a very quick read, so you can totally finish it in a week if you wanted to. And then Burn Our Bodies Down is going to be November's read. Okay, so we are going to look and explore what they think I would like to read, so you kind of get a sense of what yours will look like. So this is all the books that they think that I would enjoy reading. Not so sure about this Patterson. That's not really a me, but you can take things off. So as you can see, are you sure you don't want this book to show up in your recommendations? You can say yes if they've missed the mark. And it'll replace it with something they think might fit you better. So this is all of my books that they think I would enjoy. As you scroll all the way down, you'll see that you can expand this to see the other genres you've said. And then they also want you to let them know whether they're getting it right, because it is a beta. So they need people who are testing it to be like, you were completely wrong. None of these book recommendations were what I said I liked. It was all what I said I didn't like. So that they can fine-tune and fix these things. You will also see that you can edit your preferences, so you can actually redo that little quiz or questionnaire and change it so that it's more indicative of what you're currently interested in. So say I didn't want to read graphic novels anymore. I could edit this and say I don't like graphic novels anymore and replace it with a different genre if I wanted. Or say I was really over female leads or enemy to lover stories. So I could say I don't like that trope anymore, please get rid of it. I don't want to see anything else with it. And then I could replace it with this different trope if I wanted to. And as you can see, it's going to ask you what you don't like. Mine's mostly nonfiction because I enjoy escaping in my books. It's going to ask you what ruins a good book for you, and then types of books you're never in the mood for. So I don't like informative, inspiring, and reflective. I literally only read for fun and to escape and to get lost in a book, kind of like when you watch a really good movie. So we're going to click on these little books in the left-hand corner again, and that will bring us back to our main page. So you find the book is always going to bring you here, where it's going to give you your recommendations and show you the books that they've newly added to the website. If you go and actually search your own book, though, so we're going to look up Wuthering Heights. It's going to give you all of these that happen to have that title. So Wuthering Heights is a classic. It is in the public domain, so there are multiple edits of this novel. So we're just going to go ahead and click on one. As you can see, it's giving you the genre, so fiction, classics, and romance. People say it's dark, mysterious, and slow-paced, so I can add it to my to-read, or if I click this little arrow, it'll let me say I've read it, currently reading, or I did not finish it. It's going to give you the pages and when it was published, as well as a brief synopsis. And then there have been 2,000 ratings, so what you're going to see is the moods that people think it is most of the time by percentages. Its pace, and then you're going to see whether or not they thought it had strong character development or lovable characters, diverse or flawed, and then its average user rating. And then this way it can kind of help you gauge whether or not the book is for you. If you're just looking at books or somebody's told you, hey, I've read this book, you should check it out. And so you pull this up and then you can kind of gauge based on other people's reviews that are similar to you, whether or not it's going to work out for you. The reading challenges is going to be just like Goodreads. You're going to have read so many books in a year. You're going to have different themed challenges like reading only women authors, or you're going to try and read 20 books in 2020, or the unread shelf. So you're going to go through and you're going to read all the books you've bought or you've shelved on your to be read but you haven't gotten to yet. So there's a bunch of different challenges that you can go through and participate in throughout the year as well. The community tab is going to be different than on Goodreads. You're not really going to so much talk to other people as you are just going to see what others are reading and what they've reviewed on those books. You can't add comments to your reviews, but like I said, nobody's going to really be able to interact with you. It's strictly just a book review site. And eventually, I'm hoping they'll do an app so that it's a little bit easier to use on a smartphone instead of logging into your smartphone's internet browser. So as you can see, I don't have any followers. I'm not following anyone. So this button is useless for me, but you can follow people who read very similar to you so that you can kind of gauge what they're reading and what they're thinking about different books. They won't know you're following them, and you won't know anyone is following you. So that's kind of the really fun thing about this website is it's very anonymous and very detached from other users. So if you're kind of just looking for that very objective book review and recommendations, the Storygraph is for you. And as you scroll through, you'll see that it's going to show people have started reading different things, have finished things or didn't finish, they've reviewed it. And if you go ahead and click see review, it's going to pull up this very small snapshot of the review. So you're going to see that she thought The Mighty Thor had good character development, the characters were lovable, diverse cast of characters. She's saying it's complicated, so it may or may not have been perfect for her. Then that the flaws were center stage, and she rated it 4 stars. So if this book sounds good to you, or if you like Marvel comic books, this review could totally come in handy as you're trying to figure out whether or not you want to start The Mighty Thor. That is basically, your Storygraph is basically just your profile. So it's going to let you edit your profile, which I believe is where you can also retake your quiz. And you can import your Goodreads. So that's super fun, if you would like to. And it's going to tell you it's kind of keeping track of your statistics too. So you're going to see what you mostly read. So I tend to read fiction that's dark, mysterious, intense. I like medium-paced books, but I don't like them too fast or slow. And I don't really read anything longer than 500 pages because it tends to lose my interest. So they're kind of keeping track of those stats for you. And you can, as you read and add books, it's going to update your stats so that they become more and more accurate. So here's mine. You can change it by month or year. I've only been on it for a month, so there's very little data for me. We're going to get a pie chart of the moods I like and the pacing, how many page numbers, my fiction to nonfiction ratio, which is almost always going to be fiction. I don't read nonfiction. As well as my average star ratings. If we go back one page, we're going to see that we can edit our reading preferences from here as well. And it's going to show us what you've read, how much you've read, books you've added recently to your read list. You can see your reviews, you can see what you've rated on your stars. And then you can also see what you've currently added to your to be read pile, as well as the books that you're telling the website that you own. So that's the Storygraph. It's very bare bones, very clean, very easy to use. So if you're looking for something like Goodreads but isn't Goodreads, this could be a great site to hop over and kind of help them build it up a little bit. Thanks for watching.